Welcome to Trending Niches episode number 70. Today I've got a bunch of trends for you on Amazon and on Etsy. And just a quick reminder, if you want to get access to my 1000 plus evergreen niche spreadsheet, as well as multiple print-on-demand mini courses, then make sure to sign up to my free email newsletter, which is linked in the description down below. Now, the first big trend that I noticed this week is actually one that you need to avoid, and that is commanders. Now, these designs are all linked to an American football team. You'll generally see a lot of trends related to football teams right now. We've got the Super Bowl coming up in February, so definitely avoid this. Even if it's just this right here, Commanders, without the team colors, I wouldn't do it. These are not safe. These always get people into trouble if it's, linked to an official team, or if it's linked to a city and the sport. So yeah, don't do this. It's not worth it. Yes, there is some designs getting a ton of low BSRs right now, but this is, number one, a short-lived trend that will die down again whenever these have stopped playing. And secondly, these are also most likely going to get removed soon and get some of these accounts banned. The second trend that you definitely need to avoid is fourth wing. Now, this one might not be very obvious. It's definitely not linked to sports in this case, and it almost feels like a new evergreen niche that's just started to appear because we've got a lot of dragons in these designs, but all of these come from a book, from a novel, a story, and I've also seen some of the best sellers on Amazon in this niche, in this new trend, being removed already. So yeah, don't do it. There's a few ways to recognize these is that there's a bunch of dragons right here in these designs, often like a very similar dragon type of design or angle that you're looking at it from. The word onyx right here, onyx, Xadi, Basgiath is featuring in a lot of these. So these will all be characters or locations or words from that book, essentially from that story. Even if it just looks like a simple dragon design, it's not worth it. And all of these will have the actual title of the book series in their listing. That's why they're showing up right here. So yeah, definitely avoid this trend. It seems super tempting because there's so many new badges, but no, this is linked to intellectual property and it's definitely not allowed. The next trend that we've got is Gulf of America. This has been very, very strong. There's a lot of new designs selling really well, very low BSRs right here. And Trump mentioned this again the other day in his inauguration speech. So I definitely see this trend lasting for a while. You can see right here that the top ranking designs that are showing up at Flying Upload are 37k BSR right now and 43k BSR as well. All of these were posted less than 2 weeks ago. A lot of variety of designs as well. As you can see, if I scroll down, there's a bunch of stuff that looks very different from each other. So you can be creative in this niche for sure. I especially like this one right here, Gulf of Mexico, Never Forget, with the years at the bottom, much like the Pluto Never Forget design. Probably most of you know if you've been in the Amazon merch space for a little while. But yeah, there we go. Very strong kind of political trend at the moment is Gulf of America. Niche number 2 that's currently trending is Groundhog Day. This is happening on the 2nd of February 2025, and it's very popular in the US, always gets a ton of sales leading up to Groundhog Day. The top ranking design at the moment is sitting at 62k BSR. And now this is an established design, but as you're going to see as I scroll down, there is also a bunch of new ones popping up that have been posted more recently. We've got a bunch of Groundhog Squad designs. Groundhog Day is my birthday right here. Happy Groundhog Day. Here we've got some new badges now within Flying Research that essentially symbolizes that the design has sold and is posted less than 30 days ago. And you've got the exact timing down here. So this is published less than 7 days ago. Just kind of a groundhog costume design, kind of like you see them around Halloween. Here we've got Groundhog Birthday. That's also started to sell considering it's posted just a few weeks ago. My favorite holiday again right here. This is some more new badges. Yes, we've got this one with the flower design, a little bit more girly, childish right here. Happy Groundhog Day 15 days ago. Also got a BSR. What This Sigma right here, a 700k BSR, posted 15 days ago. So kind of jumping on recent design styles and trends with this, and it's working. So if you're trying to enter trends like this, it is always worth trying out new things that are currently resonating with people in other niches as well. That way you can kind of stand out a little bit from the already established designs and design styles. But yeah, Groundhog Day, these BSRs are going to keep dropping over the next couple of weeks. So it's definitely an interesting trend to jump on if you want some immediate sales. Moving on from that, another trend right now is Canada is not for sale. I've just typed in Canada right here to look at this more broadly because that's not the only phrase that started to sell in relation to this topic. It's basically to do with Trump saying he wants to make Canada a part of America. And obviously there will be a lot of people that disagree with it. So here we've got some designs that have started to sell. The first ranked one with that phrase was published just 7 days ago, and it's got a 200k BSR. The next one published only 5 days ago with also 200k BSR. We've also got We're Great Without You as another example right here with a Canadian flag. So yeah, there's definitely some opportunity here. And I also don't think that this niche is going to go away too quickly with Trump just getting into office. I would also just generally keep an eye out on what he kind of says or what he starts to do now that he is in office. If you want to follow trends with your t-shirts, then keep an eye on it. If not, you can just ignore it and go after evergreen niches. But yeah, this is definitely a very fresh trend right here that's getting a bunch of traction on Amazon. Trend number 4 is Black History Month, and this is actually in February, but it's already doing extremely well, and I wanted to warn you a little bit ahead of time. And this is always one of the biggest events when it comes to t-shirt sales during February. We can see right here that already the top ranking design has an 82k BSR, 95k, 100k, 100k, 100k. So this is super strong, this niche, and we're not even in February yet. Now there is a few new badges. Let me scroll down further. This one says Dream Like King. I think Martin Luther King gives you rejections though, so to avoid that. But let's try and find some more new badges. We've got African Americans and Labor right here. 2025 Black History themed, so that's 2025 themed, published 16 days ago, and it's started to sell 200k BSR as well. That's still really strong, and we've scrolled down quite a bunch. You kind of get more inspiration right here, lots of different design styles. This is another new one that started to sell. That's not Martin Luther King. And one quick tip as well, if you just want to see what started to sell in one of these big niches more recently, what you can do as well on this bestseller screen is to go to advanced options, then the date range right here, you could change this, for example, to, let's do the beginning of December to today. And then if we hit search again on that, it should show us what's been posted more recently, and it's still ranked by or sorted by BSR. So this one as well right here doesn't have a new badge, but it was published 37 days ago. So that is still very new, and it's managed to get a 100k BSR within just a month in such a big competitive niche. So that's definitely an interesting one as well. And yeah, this is kind of filtering out more of the stuff that's more recent. I Teach, Love, Bravery, Strength, etc. Also 37 days old. So a lot of these hard designs definitely doing well. That's a bit of a pattern you can see right here. It doesn't just have to be the typical green, yellow and red color schemes. You do also have these kind of brown hat design styles right here with multiple in one shirt, different words on them. That's also been doing really well for Valentine's Day, so it's probably going to carry on throughout the year for other big trends as well. If I had to guess, I could see this working for some other seasonal trends or niches in general, if it's working across multiple trends already this year. So yeah, there we go. I hope this helps you a little bit with getting a perspective on this very big trend that's coming up. It's already started to sell really well, and it's going to only do better as we reach February. Niche number 5 that's trending on Amazon is not a surprise, but I think it has to be said because Trump shirts at the moment are dominating the top shirts on Amazon, the most selling shirts at the moment. Most of them have to do with him in one way or another. No surprise, just after his inauguration day. And as you can see, the top row right here of results is 4k BSR to 9k BSR, and most of these were actually posted within the past couple of months. So it's not like this is only dominated by old designs that have been there for a while. If I go back to the filter and change this right here, I'm sure we're also going to see a lot of recent designs with new badges that still have really good BSRs. Yes, here we go. So all of these were posted less than a month ago, and we've got 20k BSR up to 85k in the first row, and lots of 100k ones down here. Now, previously I have said, or people have said, Trump designs probably not safe on Amazon, maybe avoid them. But now that the political power has shifted and that he's actually in office, I don't think Amazon is still going to go against Trump shirts. It wouldn't really make sense. And yeah, also judging off of how much these are selling, it would be stupid to go against this niche, and I think that you shouldn't have any issues with it. Obviously, if you don't really care about trends, avoid the Trump niche, stick to your evergreen stuff. But if you do like going after trends, there is a ton of potential cross-niching Trump with pretty much anything, whether it is upcoming holidays, whether it is evergreen niches, or whether it's a new phrase that he's said, something that he's talked about in one of his 10,000 speeches that he does. So yeah, definitely a lot of potential even with new designs right here, and currently dominating the top of Amazon. So that's why I had to mention it in this episode, even if some of you are probably tired of hearing it. Now, moving on to current Etsy trends. The first one that I noticed with Everbee looking some of the current bestsellers that have been recently posted is pet embroidery sweaters. These seem to be doing extremely well, especially with new listings as well. If we look at the listing age right here, I've filtered these out, and the top ranking one is less than a month old. It's making about $27,000 a month already, which is about 600 sales. It is an embroidered dog with the name customized, and you can customize the year there as well. Obviously, this is not as easy to do, right? It's custom, it's also embroidery, so the graphic has to be more simplistic, but it's just showing you what's trending on Etsy. So if you can do this, then, you know, it's worth considering because there is a lot of demand for this. The next one, again, dog's name, dog's embroidered face, and 15,000 monthly revenue. Very, very young listing as well. Then we've got 10,000 right here. This is with multiple cat faces and their names. And so yeah, definitely a ton of demand for this. All of these that are showing very recent listings, and they all have a bunch of monthly sales, which is a really good sign right here. Definitely a high demand niche on Etsy. Generally, customization is a great thing to offer to give yourself a bit of an edge. But if it goes even further, and it's also embroidery, you know, has pictures in this, essentially the setup of this and the fulfillment is more difficult, but that's also going to make it a bit easier for yourself to compete, because a lot of people won't go that extra step to actually create good looking listings or good designs or good products in this kind of topic. So barrier to entry is higher. I guess I could have said to explain that more easily. But there we go. That's the first trending niche on Etsy right here. Let's move on to the next one. The second trending niche on Etsy that I found for you is they didn't burn witches, they burned women. That's the full phrase right here. It's kind of a feminism or feminist sub niche. It has a lot of potential with new listings. I've once again filtered this right here. So if we're only looking at new listings, this is about 500 analyzed shirts for this topic or listings that show up, and many of them are getting a ton of monthly sales, which is really good considering they're so new. The one ranking at the top right here has front and back print, by the way. That's actually the case for many of these shirts, if you didn't notice. And yeah, I mean, tons of sales, 200 sales right here, 90, 99 estimated monthly sales on these. Yeah, very detailed designs, not that easy to put together once again, but in this case there's no customization for these. And yeah, definitely a hot trend right now that's doing really well on Etsy. And the next one I've got for you is anti-Trump shirts. So whenever there's a movement into one direction, there's usually a counter movement as well, and that's no different right here with the Trump niche. There is actually a lot of shirts doing very, very well for this. Only when it's dark enough can you see the stars, Kamala Harris quotes. So there's a bunch of Kamala Harris quotes which is selling right here. This is actually a very interesting one because it's very subtle anti-Trump shirt. You can't really tell from the design that it is against Trump. It just looks like flowers. But if you click into this shirt and then view on Etsy up here, you can tell that it says F Trump at the bottom in the script font, very thin. This is a really good example of a great Etsy listing. It's showing the bestseller badge right here. It's got this red text in 463 baskets and 33 times bought in the past 24 hours, where Everbee with this new bar right here is showing an estimated 71 monthly sales. So their numbers are actually lagging behind. This is a very new listing, less than a month old, and it's definitely blowing up right now, as you can see by the demand right here. It's also good practice to take kind of an example in these mock-ups and the colors that they're offering, because this listing is definitely resonating with people. If we scroll down, it's got 500 favorites. So yeah, definitely a good looking listing right here that's in high demand. So here's some related search terms as well if you were interested in this niche. Just a quick example of how you don't always have to target a niche with like very bold text and specifically screaming what the niche is about. Those kind of shirts definitely exist here, like this example, or what's this? Don't blame me, I voted for her. That's again a bit more subtle, but yeah, there's definitely a variety of shirts right here that are anti-Trump, and I've purposely filtered out just the listing age of 1 month, so you can see there is still a lot of these popping up right here that are getting a bunch of sales. And on the contrary to that, we've also got the Trump dance trending on Etsy, doing really, really well with some of these listings. Again, I filtered this by the ones that are 1 month old, and at the top we've got 2 right here that are getting about $20,000 a month in revenue, and it's typically the QR code on the back print that I'm guessing just leads to a video of Trump doing his dance. That's what most of these look like at the top. There is some other designs as well with actual pictures of him doing the dance, but yeah, the majority of the ones that are doing extremely well have the QR code on the back. So once again, another kind of Trump sub niche that's doing really well, at least right here on Etsy. To find out about the top 5 prompts for print on demand in 2025 based on trending t-shirt design styles, make sure to check out this video next.